everyone, Scrappy Kathy here with a Scrap Squad Sunday. And this one is going to be a little weird. I'm going to twist some things a bit. First of all, this is The Lift, and it's by Niki Rowland, and she's incredible. If you're not familiar with her work, you really need to check her out. She's around quite a few places. You can just check her out on Facebook, and she's on Instagram, and she's part of several different groups, including Scrap Academy. So it's a rectangular photo in the midst of a bunch of circles going from top to bottom and kind of skinnied in towards the center of the page. I had this sketch by that Niki did for Hip Kit Club, and I'm going to pretend that she was working from this sketch when she did this layout, and instead of the stars around this primary, around the photo, she's got these leaf sprigs and florals, because it's a different kind of photo. And if I were doing just this lift without ever having seen this sketch, I would alter it for the size of circles and the shape of photo, and adding stars or footballs or florals or whatever I needed to set the mood that I wanted. Same for if I were using this sketch, I would have maybe instead of some of the stars, I might have some extra circles and so forth. But I'm working on a challenge at Mind the Scrap that does require stars, so I'm gonna go with the stars, and I'm also go with the round photo because I had already cut my photo round. The things in the square there weren't so interesting. I'm doing another Barrett page because his birthday's coming up on the 10th, and I just, can't help but think he's turning 16, and I can't help but remember and long for and get nostalgic about the days when he was this little kid and loved swimming with Grandma. I'm also doing the A to Z Summer Special at Spoonful of Scraps, doing the GHI segment of the alphabet. I'm going to use gems for G, a hexagon for H, and ink for I. And so we'll see. I'm using these as general guidelines. You know that I'm going to have some stars, and there will be circles, and I've got a bunch of those already cut out, and then I'm going to kind of go from there. So I'm going to put these aside. I'm really not going to need to use them for reference because I'm not really going to try to have that exact arrangement. What I may do is on some of my stars, I may doodle around them as she does here, but I probably won't have those little tiny hearts unless I feel like it. I've got, among my embellishments are some things I've fussy cut. And one of the things I've fussy cut are these outline stars. And I took these 3 pieces of paper where I had die cut some stars a couple days ago for a project. And I went back with my scissors and cut out around the outline. And I could actually do it again if I didn't mind this one being open and so forth. So that's kind of, I think I've pretty much used the heck out of that cardstock, so I'm going to toss that. I've got those stars. I've got circles of different sizes, including some outline circles. Some have foam behind them. I have fussy cut a pair of sunglasses from this wonderful paper from Cartabella. And I fussy cut a couple bugs. There's a dragonfly and a butterfly, and those go with the bee that I fussy cut from here. This is some Vicky Bouton packaging from Wildflowers and Honey. So I'm going to put that aside. I have my hexagon here. And let's see, I need gemstones. I have my gemstones here. Some of you may know, I'm also working on killing a bunch of miscellaneous embellishments and using lots of scraps. So I've certainly done that with the things I've got here in my little bowl. This is my title card. I've actually stamped "What's Up" on here because he kind of looks like that's what he's saying. And so that'll work in there. I've got some little accent pieces. I have no idea when or why I cut that out, but it was in my bowl. There are the sunglasses. So we'll add these little things as they need to fit in. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to place my photo, just kind of smack dab in the center, and then we'll do everything else. We'll work everything else around that. I know I need this here, and I've got some foam on the back of it, but I want it to overlap the photo, so I'm going to cut the foam a bit, get some adhesive on that. I'm gonna do that. And now we're gonna go for broke here. You know what I didn't do? Let me take these things off. I did not do my ink sprinkles. I have Dilutions London Blue here, and I'm just going to splatter it around that center area. It's blue on blue. Oh, by the way, this cardstock, this background that I'm using here, is from the very first set of 12 by 12 scrapbooking supplies I ever bought. Sam's Club, which is a discount warehouse store, had some baskets with scrapbooking supplies in them, and right underneath the baskets, kind of piled on the shelf, were these packages that were about yay thick, really thick, maybe 500 sheets. And it was in a variety of colors, and each color family had 2 or 3 different shades, and each page was solid on one side, and then a kind of a corresponding pattern on the other side, but a pattern like this one that can be read as a solid or can be used as a solid. This is a faint blue on blue stripe, and the blue on it, and you'd have maybe 10 or 12 pages of each pattern. So you could use this in combination with another sheet of the other side. So it was really great stuff, and I'm very glad that I still have some of it because it's some of the best, just some of my favorite scrapbooking supplies. I probably bought that in, I want to say 2006, so 14 years ago. That was around the time I was kind of first playing with scrapbooking supplies, and I will admit that I cut all this up. I didn't use it for 12 by 12 scrapbooking really until maybe 5 years later, which is why I still have so much of it. Okay, so what did I do with my title piece here? Okay, and because of the orange around in there, and because orange looks so awesome with blue, I have some orange accents in here. Okay, so my stars are getting all tangled up. I wanted to do this big one kind of adhered really only in that area there and just let loose the rest of the way. And I am doing just to make sure. I am doing the textured side. Okay, so that way it overlaps the title piece on, I'm gonna let it overlap there and let it underlap here. Okay, and then I wanna do this one, but it needs to kind of slide under there because when I did my fussy cutting, it was already kind of pretty close to the edge. And of course it gets tangled up there, so that'll be a funny moment on the video. But what I want to do first is kind of add some of these circles, and I'm gonna do this one kind of right there, and I'll do this one here. I'll kind of let them trail down and overlap one another as they go down. I'm going to add in some squares here and there just for the heck of it, and because squares are also a requirement for this week's challenge at Mind the Scrap. I'm going to put this one on some foam. The ones closer to the, see, that blue is a different cardstock, but it's the exact same color of blue. The only way that you know it's there is with the dimension that I've added with the foam. Well, actually, let me do this one. Do this here, and then I know this one's gonna have to go up here somewhere. So let me do that, and then I'll overlap that with something orange to kind of draw your eye to that progression. I cut this one when I put the smaller die inside. I left one side wider than the other, so I'm going to cut it and use it in two different places, and you won't notice that it's been cut with the there, and then I'll do something like let's see, what's a small accent here? I've got, oh, I know what I could do. I have a striped circle here that I need to use because stripes are required, and I don't know if that's going to be enough of a stripe to meet the requirements. Okay, there we go. I'm going to put that there. Okay, and let's see, do I have anything else like that I could correspondingly put down here? I like this one, the polka dotty one, and these have been around for a while. So I could maybe do that one there, and it kind of ties in that square. I may do, well, okay, let's see what we're working with here. I do want to have this in the mix somewhere there, and I'm thinking this might, I knew I'd end up kind of fussing over placement of these circles. I'm going to put some foam on the back of this one. I've still got a couple stars to put on there. And then after that, it should go quickly as I add things. I've got this other little piece of orange to there. That's actually textured on both sides. There, and I'm gonna maybe do this one. There, okay. And I've got a tiny little circle with a star in it, or a star cut out of it, and I've got a star in that orange. So I want to be sure that I include them kind of evenly distributed because they really stand out. I like that maybe right there, but I want to put foam behind it. I've got this little accent gear piece that I thought might be cute there or there. I kind of like it there. So I'll do that. This little orange bit with the star, maybe here on the square. Okay, that's good because that kind of teal color showing through really looks nice. I've got this, which even though it matches that, if I did that, okay, I'm gonna cut it so that it doesn't interfere with other things. I may do it like this. Okay, that seems to work there. And do I have a spot that I could use this? Because you know I'm trying to use this stuff. Nah, I'm gonna save it. It goes in the save pile. Let's do the sunglasses. Here's where I wish I had some pop dots because those little pop dots are perfect. And my tape runner, when it gets towards the end, just doesn't really want to cooperate. So I'm gonna do glue. It's about time to change it, but I don't want to do it during the video, obviously. So I'll make do without it. I have a couple word strips, or at least one word strip. Let me put that down. There. What about the star going right there on the sunglasses? I like that. Okay, that works. Now, I've got some, well, let's get the stars on. This star kind of needs to go like that, and if it kind of has to go this way so that that star shows. Now, I'm gonna do a little bit of I'm doing it on the wrong side. I'm going to do a little bit of glue, and then I'll burnish it underneath here with this guy. Okay, and so it'll stay loose, and then this one can go, and I like that it's the same, it's kind of tone on tone there, and it overlaps there. Okay, so let me put the glue here. And I like that it's tone on tone, because if you contrast it, you could see how crooked I cut that. And this way, no one is the wiser. Okay, so I've got my stars distributed. I'm not gonna use any more. I've got my one square, which is all I needed. And you know, I think I'm not going to outline or doodle around on these. I have this hexagon, which I'm going to place somewhere, maybe hanging off this bottom circle. Do it like that. I've got these gemstones, and the very last thing I'm going to do is some copper color. Well, actually, let me put these 49th and Market, I think they're called wishing bubbles. I bought them in this kind of aqua color and in this purple color, and I absolutely love them. But I do so many watery layouts, I've used them up. So I've killed the aqua ones. Now let's throw a few purple ones in, just for fun, kind of keeping them in this, you know, area we're restricting ourselves to. Maybe I'll put it on there. Yeah, I like that. Okay, so I still have more of these. I have some blue hearts that are perfect for running along where I have the open rings. So let me, I got those two, so I need a third one. I'm gonna do a blue on blue right there. Okay, so I have a few of these left. I'm gonna put those in here and not keep the whole sheet. So I've come close to killing that sheet. Okay, get rid of that. Now, I had thought I might use, to get that horizontal element in there, thought I might use this, and I'm anxious to use it because I'm not crazy about it. But I do not want to mess up what I've got going here. I have this, because he was 2 years old at the time, I have this too. Could use it here or here. I think I like it here. Let me get it placed on there. And it's an old sticker that just might peel up, so I may go back in and fix that. So those stickers go back in the supplies. I've got this little word sticker that says, "Oh, hey, boy," and that seems appropriate. Again, a sticker that may need some help being stuck down, but that's something I'll do. Maybe right there. And I hate covering up my blue ink spots, although you can still still see them. And I've got my strip of gems here to add. I like this, this remember to remember this is good, or this made me laugh would be good. I think I'll just go with snapshots, and it could go down here because the arrow points in both directions. This one, the arrow just pointed in that direction, so it kind of pretty much had to go on that side. Okay, let me get that on straight. And again, something that may have to be adjusted after the fact, after the camera stops rolling. There's only one snapshot, so that may not make sense. So I've used something from there. Now we go with the gems. I'm gonna put I'll do the gems and then I'll do the copper Nuvo drops later. I have a different challenge that requires copper. It also requires triangles, and I don't have a triangle. I could make triangle. Okay, this is not wanting to come off the strip. This is an old strip I picked up at a retreat for something, maybe on the freebie table. I'm just gonna kind of put these around because I really notice gems in a composition like this where there are lots of circular elements and where there's a water-like reference, if you will. Let me put one there. I want to use the whole sheet. I have more of these in different sizes, but this strip has been hanging around for a while. Okay, so I've got it all over in there. Let me make a triangle out of this shape. I'm gonna put these as though they were photo corners. Okay, and again, these would be more noticeable, if you will, if I were to doodle around them, but I kind of like the tone on tone look. You see that one's already peeling up. Okay, I like the kind of the distribution of colors here, and I love my little tiny orange. Okay, so, I haven't used the bee or the other two little bugs. I have this pair of scissors, and because my team at Mind the Scrap is called the Scissor Sisters, I have this punch, but the punch really isn't, it's why I had it in a place that I don't often look. Can I add that right there, just for the heck of it? This little guy, maybe, I'm gonna make sure he's bent. Maybe right there at the juncture of that star and this circle. The big B needs lots of glue. I'm going to put here by the 2. I could put it here, but I really don't want that much encroaching on the thing. Okay, so I've got that there and that there. I'm going to do the pink butterfly there. Okay, now we're ready for the Nouveau drops. I'll put the scissors away, and my apologies to the Scissor Sisters for not using that. I had thought when I found it that that would be kind of cool to have a pair of scissors on each layout that I did for the team during the challenge, but I don't think that's going to happen. Okay, so I'm going to do a couple dots right here next to that blue one, and a couple next to that blue one, and maybe a couple here by this purple one. Okay, and maybe one up here with the snapshots. Okay, I'm done. Thank you very much for watching. I have another Scrap Squad lift that I'm going to do, and I will film it just because I always do. This was last month's Scrap Academy special lift that Scrap Squad did in conjunction with Scrap Academy, and I completely missed it. I had it out on my to-do list and got busy with a few other things, so I'm not sure when I'll do it. Sometime during the week, when either Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday, it'll come out. So stay tuned for that one. And I have to see if I can find any more of this hedgehog paper. I've done a lot of fussy cutting from it. So anyway, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next week for Scrap Squad Sunday and the special Scrap Squad Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday. Bye. Let me bring it up close so you can see some of the detail. There you go. Someone told me that they like seeing that. Okay. Bye. Thanks for watching.